Hi friends, good morning. I am in Bilangi and welcomes you all in our subject Elements of Machine Design. So friends, we are in unit Introduction to Machine Design, and in which we are talking about ergonomics. So as you know, ergonomics means anything which is easy to handle. And why ergonomics is required, which is already we have discussed in previous lecture. So to reduce physical workload, correct na? To minimize human errors, to increase the efficiency of production of operators, to improve the quality of working life, to reduce the fatigue. Due to these important points, ergonomics is required. Means if we have to increase the efficiency, we have to design anything which is easy to handle. Correct na? So friends, in previous lecture we have discussed that ergonomics related to the design of displays. Ergonomics related to the design of displays. That already we have discussed in previous lecture. And today's topic of our discussion is ergonomics in design of equipment for control. So guys, let's have some revision on previous lecture so that we can start today's topic. So friends, in previous lecture we have discussed ergonomics in design of displays. Means while designing display, we have to design such a way that it should be easy to handle, easy to read, easy to watch. Correct na? Means while designing the display, color combination should be there, shape should be proper, scale should be graduated. So likewise, different rules and regulations are there while designing the display. So according to the ergonomics consideration, while designing the display, we have to follow those rules. Correct na? So in designing the display, we have discussed there are two types of displays are there: qualitative display and quantitative display. Qualitative display means these are such display which shows only the quality, means the state, means suppose hot, warm, cold, likewise. And quantitative display are the such display in which we get a certain exact value. Suppose 20 km per hour, 30 km per hour, 20 degrees Celsius, likewise. Again, in this display again there are two types: analog display and digital. Analog display are the such type of display in which we get a reading in terms of pointer and scale. Digital display are the display in which we get exact value, exact digit. Suppose 20 degrees Celsius, 20 km per hour, likewise. Correct na? And friends, after that we have discussed factor affecting for efficiency of human, in which we have discussed noise. It is important factor, it should be in a range. After that we have discussed temperature of surroundings should be proper. should be maintained within a range. Then lighting and relative humidity and air circulation. Means air circulation should be proper. So likewise we have discussed in previous two lectures. So friends, today's topic of our discussion is ergonomics in design of equipment for control. Means while designing the equipment for control, we have to design such a way that it should be easy to handle. Equipment for design for control means there are some equipments are there, those are manufactured only for the control. If you take example of brake, correct, then hand lever, steering, different knobs, buttons, brake pedals, correct na? These are the different example comes under equipment for control. Means these are the different equipments, those are specially designed for the control of your vehicle. So friends, while designing these equipments for control, we have to design according to the or by while designing we have to consider the ergonomics. Means we have to design this equipment for control in a such way that it should be easy to handle, correct na? Ergonomics in design of equipment for control means while designing equipment for control, suppose take example of brake pedal. So we have to design that brake pedal such a way that it should be easy to handle, it should be easy to operate, it should be user friendly while operating, correct na? So friends, here a control is a device which transmit information to some another mechanism, machine or a system, correct na? Means these are the certain equipments, those are only used for the control of the system. So there are certain equipments are there whose design we have to discuss in detail as per the ergonomics. So first we have to discuss hand wheel in detail, then hand levers, cranks, knobs, push buttons and foot pedals. So these equipment for control we have to discuss in detail as per the ergonomics. So friends, our first equipment for control is hand wheel. So simply you can say that hand wheel, it is a control device, correct na? Means if we have to control our vehicle, this hand wheel will be useful. So while designing hand wheel, we have to design such a way that it should be easy to handle, easy to operate, easy to rotate, correct na? Means we have to design hand wheel as per ergonomics. So if we say diameter of this hand wheel should be less than 5 centimeter for the purpose of easy to grip. Means while designing hand wheel, we have to keep in mind diameter of this hand wheel should be less than 5 centimeter. Then we can easily hold this hand wheel inside the hand. Means it will be available for easy to grip if diameter of this hand wheel should be less than 5 centimeter. If diameter of this hand wheel will be more than 5 centimeter, then there will be chances of errors while operating, while holding inside the hand. So as per ergonomics, diameter of this hand wheel should be less than 5 centimeter, so that we can easily operate this hand wheel. Correct? Then this hand wheel gives torque corresponding to tangential force of 300 to 400 Newton if the rim of wheel grabs firmly by both hands. Meaning is very clear. If we design this hand wheel by diameter less than 5 centimeter, then we can easily operate with the help of 5 centimeter. We can easily operate by 2 hands, correct? And at that condition, by 2 hands we can apply the tangential force 300 to 400 Newton, which is required for the operating that hand wheel. Clear, students? What is the actual role of ergonomics in design of hand wheel? Design of hand wheel as a control member. We have to design hand wheel in a such manner it should be easily handled by both hands. It should be easily gripped by 2 hands. So while designing hand wheel, diameter of hand wheel we have to design less than 5 centimeter. Correct, na? Then we can operate that hand wheel easily. Now, next important control member is hand lever. So while operating four-wheeler, this hand lever plays an important role. So everyone knows the position of this hand lever. So generally hand lever is near to the driver's seat, or position of hand lever, it is in front or in between 2 seats, means in between driver's seat and that another seat, which those are in front inside the four-wheeler. So clear, guys? Where is the location of, or where is the position of hand lever? Near to the driver's seat, so that driver with his left hand can easily operate this hand lever when there is an emergency. Correct, na? So while designing this hand lever, as per ergonomic aspects, we have to design such a way that length of this hand lever should be proper. Correct? Diameter of this hand lever should be proper. While working, it should be easily grippable. Means while holding, grip should be proper. Correct, na? Means it should be operate. Likewise, we have to design. So hand lever provides quick control for large force. Means as you know, while driving, if certain emergency is there, we have to operate the hand lever to stop the vehicle emergency. Correct, na? So if we use this hand lever, it will apply the large force, and due to that large force, we can stop the vehicle in a quick manner. Levers may be spring loaded or of rigid control type. Spring loaded levers are there, or rigid control types. So see here, lever can provide efficient on-off force. Levers can provide efficient on-off force. Means if we operate the lever, your vehicle get stopped. If we release the force, that hand lever change its position. Means a very simple manner it will work. It will provide only on-off force. If we operate it, levers will be in active position. Again, if we operate hand lever, it will be in off position. So clear, guys? While designing hand lever as a control member, as per ergonomics specs, what we have to keep in mind? Length of this hand lever should be proper, diameter should be proper, it should be easily grippable. Clear? The next is a crank. So crank is also familiar with us. So purpose of crank is that to start the engine. Correct, na? If you have observed diesel engine anywhere, so with the help of this crank, we can start that engine. So crank can be operated by one hand. So for starting of that engine, we can use this crank by only one hand. So small cranks can be used for the fast control. So students, while designing the crank as a control member, we have to keep in mind length of this handle and diameter of this handle. So length of this handle should be 40 mm and grip of diameter should be 10 mm, so that this crank produce speed of 200 rpm, which is required for the ignition of the engine. So friends, always keep in mind while designing the crank, as per ergonomic specs, as per easy to handle, length of this crank should be 40 mm and grip diameter should be 10 mm, so that this can produce, or we can operate this crank at 200 rpm. Clear? Next is a push button. So push button is already familiar with us, which is the next control member. So how this push button operates? So generally these push buttons are push on and push off types. Push buttons are push on and push up types. Means if initially if we press this, push this, it will gets on. Again if we push this button, it gets off. Means push on push off type. Correct na? So these are used for light load and operated by one thumb or one finger. So these are the such control member or push button which require very less force to operate, and it also operated by one thumb or one finger also. Correct na? So by one finger, if we initially press or initially push, it gets on. Again by same finger, if you again push it, it gets off. So likewise this push button operates. Then next control member is knobs. So in four-wheeler or in many places we have observed these knobs. Correct na? So if we say in a sound system also, to increase or decrease volume, knobs are there. Related to the regulator of fan, knobs are there. So while designing knob as a control member, as per ergonomic specs, diameter of this knob is very important. Diameter should be within a range. So while designing knob as a control member, diameter should be 10 to 150 millimeter. Because if we design the diameter of knob in between 10 to 150 millimeter, then we can operate that knob easily with the help of one hand. Because we know knob can be operated by only single hand. And while designing knob, always keep in mind we have to design such a way that diameter should be 10 to 150 millimeter. Because if we design in that range, then with the help of one single hand we can easily operate. We can easily increase and decrease the volume easily of sound system. So such knobs produce torque of 25 Newton meter. So clear guys? While designing knob as a control member, as per ergonomics specs, it should be easy to handle. And when it should be easy to handle? When we design in between the range of its diameter 10 to 150 millimeter. Now last member, foot pedal. Correct na? So there are different foot pedals are there. Brake lever is there, then accelerator is there, clutch is there. All comes under the foot pedal. So as you know, foot pedals are the much more or very much important control members are there. So while designing, it should be easy to handle, means as per ergonomic concept. So while designing foot pedal, it should be such a way design that length of this lever of foot pedal should be proper. Length of this foot pedal lever should be proper, and at last that lever having 30-degree angle. Correct na? See here friends, while designing foot pedal as a control member as per ergonomics for the purpose of easy to handle. Length of this foot pedal lever should be proper, means within a range, not short or not more length. It should be within a range, means length or length of foot pedal lever should be proper, and it's having 30-degree angle. If you design foot pedal such a way that, then we can easily operate this pedal with the help of foot and control our device or the four-wheeler. So clear, guys? So in today's lecture we have discussed ergonomics considerations related to the design of control members. Means we have to design control member such a way that it should be easy to handle, easy to operate. Correct, na? So in which we have discussed foot pedal, knobs, push buttons, crank, hand lever, hand wheels, likewise. So friends, okay, today's lecture gets over. Thank you very much.